Hi, my name is Jackie Herbstreet, and I will be doing my project on factors influencing ultramarathon performance. Ultramarathons are foot races that last longer than the traditional marathon, which is 26.2 miles. And it can be, like I said, anything greater than a traditional marathon, but the common ones are 31 miles, 62 miles, 100 miles, and then races based on time. So 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, 48 hours, or even multi day events. The data set that I got from Kaggle contains 7,461,226 race records from 1 million unique athletes. And I forgot to mention it in my slide, but I did randomly choose 3,000 athletes from that data set to make it easier to process the data and analyze it. And then the time range from that data set covers races from 1798 to 2022. The key variables that I used includes the athlete information, which is age, gender, and the country they're from. Their race information, so the distance, and then the athlete's performance, and then the performance metrics, which are the average speed and the time taken to complete the race. During the cleaning process for my data set, I did perform quite a bit of cleaning. I had to remove a few rows because they had missing data. Athletes had missing data, so I had to delete those athletes from the data set. And then I also had to organize different columns so that the performance metric was based on hours of time completing a race rather than having it days, hours, minutes, and seconds. So everything was calculated equally or like the same way. And then I also had to update the type of race to make sure that everything was distance rather than time. So anything that was measured by time, I just got rid of so that it was easier to do the analysis on. And after cleaning the data set, I did use Python to do the analysis and visualizations pictured here. The age distribution of athletes is shown in the first picture, and you can see that the younger athletes, there are more younger athletes than there are older athletes. The average speed versus the distance, it kind of makes sense that the longer distance that you run, the slower you're going to be overall. And that's what's pictured here as well. And then performance hours versus age typically shows that the amount of time is greater for the younger ages. So typically, that matches up with the age distribution of athletes pretty evenly. Below are the key insights from the analysis. The age and performance, the average age of ultramarathon athletes is around 38, with most athletes falling between 23 and 45. Distance and performance, ultramarathon distances ranges widely, but most are between 50 and 90 kilometers. And average speed and performance, ultramarathon participants run at an average speed of around 6.94 kilometers, which is much slower than typical marathon speeds, which makes sense because they're going extremely long distances. And then the performance hours, on average, ultramarathoners take about 11.8 hours to complete the races, with a wide range from as quick as 3.16 hours to over 47 hours. That's insane. That suggests that ultramarathons can vary significantly in difficulty and the time it takes to finish. So to reiterate my findings and to conclude my PowerPoint, age does not appear to be a limiting factor in ultramarathon performance. There is a wide range of participants that are younger and older, and then obviously in between. Ultramarathon races require significant endurance with a diverse range of performance times. And then for future research, you could potentially focus on the impact of the country, gender, and specific race to look at the difference in performance. My references I have here are the data set that I got from Kaggle, and then I also put the link to my storyboard here as well. Thank you.